Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and I messed that up. Hold on, let me mute the mic again. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's. I cannot speak today. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes just to let people join. Doing good? I also need to plug my phone in. How's it going, Hisela? Okay, is there anything else I need to do setup-wise? I think that's about it. Soda! Alright, so before we get super into this, does anyone know who our key suspect is right now? Based off the thumbnail? The Badger? Do you guys want to see my evidence? Because I do have evidence. Wait, you can hear the music? You mean like metaphorically you can hear the music, right? Not literally? Metaphorically, okay. I was gonna say, I don't think I have anything running right now. Do you want to see my key evidence as to why the Blue Badger did it? Well, you know, I don't know why I'm waiting for a response. Because you guys are gonna see it anyways. Hopefully this is loud enough. I did not test the audio. So, this might be a 3-minute long graphic, by the way. I'm assuming by the time this ends, some more people will join, so. The slow fade. So I did make this for a reason. This wasn't a waste of time. For the people who are here right now, I can tell you exactly why I made this. If anyone ever says, play the video again, I'm playing this. So I would recommend you never say play the video again. Well, it's been like 2 minutes, he's going insane. Alright, well anyways. I guess we've wasted enough time. We wasted enough time to where my controller turned off. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Okay, what were we in the process of doing? It's been like over a week. I don't remember what we were doing. What evidence do we have? Did we give him his beefaroni already? I think we did. Oh. You need to talk to Gumshoe? Okay. Do we need to present him something? Allow me to say one thing, pal. Speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. Nothing. That's fine. You bet it's fine, pal. So I don't know, we did all the dialogue options. Did we show him the pot? Yeah, we showed him the pot. Is there anything suspicious about the pot? I don't think we've examined the blood stain. Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there's some darker red stains here. Huh. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be where the blood got on it. Okay, is there anything else suspicious? Oh, we can examine the hole. Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust on the inside, right? What is the purpose of a bottomless jar? Maybe a pot? What's the difference between a pot and a jar? I guess a jar has a lid. Do pots typically have lids? I don't think pots have lids. Well, no, pots do have lids. Because there's like cooking pots, and cooking pots have lids. What's the difference between a jar and a lid? It's not particularly helpful. We show him the ID card? Did you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in and out on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors, pal. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? The second number! On the grassy knoll, pal! It's not your ID number, is it, Detective? Mr. Edgeworth! What? The second number on the grassy knoll! It belongs to Edgeworth! What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Okay, so that's probably what we needed to know. Is there anything else that looks like we should show him? Maybe the lost item report? No. Okay. Okay, so yeah, now we probably want to go talk to Edgeworth. So we want to go to the parking lot, and then the High Prosecutor's office. Okay, maybe we don't want to talk to Edgeworth. Did you blue skidoo yet? You might have missed a 3-minute long graphic, Ash. I'm not gonna say anything, but you might have. I'm not gonna tell you what the keyword is to trigger it either. I guess I'll make sure there's not anything else I need to show Gumshoe. Hey, that's it, pal! That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth won the other day. Were you at the award ceremony? Of course, pal! I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations! I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason! I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Found in Edgeworth's car? Stabbed by Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Oh, wait, I didn't, I mean, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, okay, we just did that one. Okay, This is my crowning achievement, pal. My masterpiece, you might say. But art is always misunderstood, pal. Art? He was dancing proudly on the day of the awards ceremony, but there was a lot of people coming and going after. So they took the Blue Badger away for a while. Really? Why? Oh, they said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toiled night and day. I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. Okay, we've read that. The note, the blade. Oh wait, there was a... Oh! New dialogue option, we got 'em, boys. Now that was a bloody, violent case, pal. Violent? So it was... murder? A serial killing. Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built a case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago, right? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and it started the rumor mill. Rumors? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So, the switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Hey, pal! Look at the time! Was there something you needed to be going to? It's, just that Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day. Oh my gosh, they really referenced that restaurant? I'm actually shocked that they'd make a reference to Trace Bien. It might help you to know. Report? You mean that note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Edgeworth we're talking about here. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. When did this case come out? I think, like, 2005? No, because the DS was, what, 2006? Maybe, like, 2007, 2008? This case came out after the trilogy. The DS was 2004? Okay, I don't know when the re-release happened, but I'm pretty sure that the entire trilogy was out by the time it got localized. 2005? Okay. Okay, so now we probably want to go talk to Edgeworth, right? The Bellboy's here? I don't even remember what the Bellboy sounded like. Ah, guests! My apologies! Oh, it's you! Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long! Is Edgeworth here? There! Standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. I don't see a teacup. Do you see a teacup? I feel like we're being lied to. I don't see a teacup. Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think the whole thing's really taking a toll on him. So, how'd the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes. Apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've only done what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still... Wow. I've never seen him this out of sorts. 1 second. I'm gonna move something real quick. Okay, that looks good. Alright, do we have anything we need to present Edgeworth? About the... I guess we'll just show him all the new evidence. Right, please. I'm a prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyways? Maybe if I just show him the best evidence I can get some reaction out of him. Maybe the glove? Oh, no. Okay. He might be interested in this. No. Okay. Oh, I need to show him the ID card. That's the whole reason I wanted to come over here. Oh, right. I better check this out now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went in the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why? Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gat, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for the case wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. The A116 incident? Oh man, I can't believe he got assaulted by a steak sauce. But it was solved, right? It wouldn't have been evidence if it was wait, it would have to be... It would have to be if... Oh, it would have to be if the evidence was already filed. Okay, I see what it's saying. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence, screwdriver. Added to the court record. Yeah, it really is the A116 evidence. Stubborn as always, eh, right? I told you it has nothing to do with the current case. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. Oh, well, I've already got that. Okay. I guess we can examine it? Is there anything suspicious? The tag says A116. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said. Huh. That does make it all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be a clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? I guess that's all we can really do. Is there anything else that we want to... Is there anything else that we want to show him? I don't think we've analyzed the glove yet, have we? The tag says SL19. Wait, SL911. Uh-oh. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you ever know what other words sound like that? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zgag, zag, zgag? How do you pronounce that? Emma, don't say it! I know exactly what word Hisso is thinking of. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get cancelled. Zgag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me, mortal? To the death, then! Pya! What, are we playing a word game now? Well, Nick, you know what they say. If the glove fit, you can't quit. I don't know if there's anything else to really show Edgeworth. Maybe the floor plan? He might be interested in this. No, okay. So we showed him the ID card. Try the note? I assume you mean the lost item report, right? But yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it either. Or maybe Goodman's note. Oh crap, I skipped some text. Alright, well, sorry about that. I didn't expect that to work. Later games would have the text where I could go back and see it, but we don't have that yet. Here's a note, Edgeworth. I guess there's dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Alright, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident is a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago? He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why the Deputy Chief of Police was on the investigation. In truth, I use slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murder. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science? Huh? Yes, of course. Well, why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this luminol fluid. Would you like to try some? It's delicious. Luminol testing fluid, huh? Of course. Pour some in my cuppa. Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints? It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are your enemy, you know. I've got no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks for the powder, Edgeworth. How about giving these to Gumshoe as well? I'm sure it'll perk up his spirits. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Alright, gang, it's time to go use our white powder on some walls. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here! The blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use our secret weapon we just borrowed. Right! Let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose a finger that would have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Probably this one, right? Because this will be at an angle and these are kind of faded. Alright, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With enter! See? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminium powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E! The famous constant E! Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. Well, unless you want it to. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I better give it a try. Alright, I guess dust. It's time for Dust and Prints! A whole game early. This is some riveting gameplay. You know, we gotta make sure we lay it on thick here. We want to get a clean fingerprint. We don't want to miss a single crevasse here. I mean, think of what would happen if we even were like a millimeter off. We gotta fill in every hole. It's a good thing Edgeworth sprung for the XL bottle. You know, we're probably gonna have to give this a really strong huff. I love snow. Man, it physically won't let me get the corner down there. Frozen! You know, the only reason Disney made a movie called Frozen is because when you now Google Walt Disney Frozen, it doesn't show you results about the frozen head theory. Coincidence? I think not. Alright, I think we almost got everything. It's imperative that we fill in every gap. How's it going, Yosh? It's going horrible? I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully things get better for you today. At the very least, you've got some Ace Attorney to watch, so hey, that's always fun. Alright, that's probably good enough. Alright, we're gonna give it a big huff. Alright, everybody on the count of 3, we gotta suck in the air. Woo! You did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Ah. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. I'm sorry for wasting all of your time. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometime with scientific investigation. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there's fingerprints outside of the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Huh. Fingerprints outside of the blood? Yeah, so it's talking about this. Okay, give me 1 second before I fill this screen. I gotta check my texts. I can't believe we have to make it snow again. Alright, well I guess we gotta lay on the snow again. Here, I'll put some stimulation on screen for you guys while I do this. This'll keep you entertained. Oh wait, I need to mute the desktop audio, I'm sorry. There we go. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. Since we know a place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Are you enjoying your badger stimulation? Hopefully you can't hear me spamming the A button right now. I don't want to see a single dead pixel on this screen. All white. I'm dreaming of a white investigation screen. Alright, are there any spots I'm missing? I still can't get in that corner. Oh, you had a bad test? I'm really sorry to hear that. Did you at least pass? Was it just like a subpar pass? Wow, we actually made it to the end of the Badger vid. That's hilarious. Alright, well, we got the powder. Alright, guys. Are you ready to blow?
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print looks like it's a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So, we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there was no point in you filling the entire screen with aluminum powder, you dumbass. And not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who that was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the print probably doesn't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would be most likely to be on the evidence locker? Damon Gant! Alright, well, I guess we can look at everyone's handprints. Oh, it just completely scrolls. Okay, so we've got Damon Gant. We've got Mike Meekins. Mike Meekins is younger than me. Interesting. Jake Marshall. Bruce Goodman. Dick Gumshoe, pal. Dick Gumshoe's 30 years old? I didn't know he was that old. Guys, Gumshoe is legally an old man. You know, once you hit 30... Lana Sky, Emma Sky, and then Angel Star. Alright, so obviously it's Gumshoe. You mean 30 years young, right? Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing. But there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you hit. Wait. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you hit. That is a whiz quote right there. Hit or miss. It's like I never miss, eh? You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Okay, so there was a handprint over here, right? This is it, Luigi! Right! There was a handprint here! Alright, you wanna try using this? There goes her eyes sparkling again. Let's check for prints. Imagine your lawyer telling this after he fails to get the charges dropped. Yeah, sometimes you hit, and sometimes you hit. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit! Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area would have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints? Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find the prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hands? What? I guess I'll just move my cursor around. Oh, wait, where was that? Right here? Okay, I guess there's one here. It's time for some more powder snow. Do I have any more stimulation I can show you guys? I gotta make sure you don't get bored. Here we go, this one's kinda long. I gotta make sure to stimulate my audience. We need more Family Guy. Seems today that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV. But who are I can't do it, Peter. Holy crap, Donald Trump! Where's the fidget spinners? Alright, that's probably close enough.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Interesting. Okay, so this is Jake Marshall. Interesting. Hey, these fingerprints, they Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, these are decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's prints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall? It looks like our investigation's finally turning up results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it! To be continued. I can't believe the Chad, Texas man would do this. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution's as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different... Oh, this is Lana. Oops. The victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana! We live in California! They're not allowed to sentence people to death here! Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as you are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstain Ritual of the Night. A copy of the game was in his locker. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. Hold on.
Do not come.
I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this graphic. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna have to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Courtroom number 9. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. A little bit of evidence in my hand. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yeah, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's what's supposed to be his admirable trait? Very well. Let the trial presume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day. For the first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Whoo boy! Things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh god. I think I'd rather we call the Blue Badger to the stand. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I am Officer Mike Beacon, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir! So you're a professional killer? Case closed! Guilty! Miss Lana Sky, you can go free. Roll credits! Yeah, if only. Sir! It was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill again, sir! Oh, Jesus Christ! I'll never kill again, sir! You gotta believe me! I was taking a drink, I'm sorry, I missed what the judge said. Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir! Oh boy, it's a zoomer! This is gonna be the rest of the stream, isn't it? A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend! I'm playing 5D chess while you're only on the 3D board, sir! I'm 5 steps ahead of you! Next you're gonna say, Oh. The one time he doesn't say Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Help me, sir. What the heck's my judge voice? I can't do it all of a sudden. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. All I do is look at their cell phone. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not part of my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security room, and I rushed in. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. And I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. I killed him. I bit his head off. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you, sir. That's what the Holy Lord Jesus Christ told me. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then until you fainted, a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. Oh boy. We get to cross-examine Mike Meekins. Mr. Meekins, you work for the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Yikes! Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks they do not normally perform. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir!
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir! Let me show you a video of him, sir! You like what you see, sir? I'm not gonna play the whole video. Oh no! He's gonna play the whole video! Oh no! It never ends! It was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir!
I see! Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the awards ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got in there? I spotted a suspicious man in the security screen, and I rushed the room. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir! I have one here right around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed here, correct? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here!
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir! It's 49, 89, 59, 69! That's my number, sir! I see. Huh? But the number 4989596... It's shown being used twice! Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time was when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during the second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the suspicious man on the security screen. It was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So when you were attacked, can you tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, when me charging in on him, he looked as surprised as I did. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir.
I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand, sir.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Then I did it.
What exactly did you mean when you said did it?
I mean, Frank saw it. More like Frank did it. I don't look the type, but I really am into kung fu films, sir.
Oh my lord, he's a zoomer and he's into anime?
Oh god. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched the knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun it around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a real man.
I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of blood. And then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious!
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain!
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir! The Blue Badger, sir! Let me show you the video, sir! 1 second! This Blue Badger! You remember the Blue Badger, don't you, sir? I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand!
Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this! It was sent to my jail cell!
Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Here we go! Chief Gant delivered it to me this morning, sir!
The chief? Delivered it? What is that? Videotape? Mr. Meekins, don't you know it's the year of our Lord and Savior, 2016? Why are you handing me a video cassette? Can't you just stream the video to me? Don't you have YouTube?
Yes, sir! That's absolutely right, a videotape, sir! It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir, but it's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department's as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of the real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
You ever watch those found footage, like, horror videos? This is essentially one of those. The most terrifying thing you'll ever see. Alright, there goes the glove. Amazing 3D graphics for the DS, by the way. Oh, it's Meekins! Watch out! FNAF? Oh no, Meekins! Like, I'm the man behind the slaughter, sir! Like, zoinks, man! Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettled feelings stirred within us? Well, I know one way.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come. What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and sort of, activity took place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly and complete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! His face can't clearly be seen in the video, but there's no questioning that it was no other person but Detective Goodman, sir! I mean, he opened the doctor! The doctor? The doctor! He opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so! The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's, sir! So it must have been him! No one else could have unlocked it! What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face! Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Let's check the video again! Yay! Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose that we have the defense point out to us the alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction. I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times, sir. I can't stand watching the video. How did this guy even become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man may not be Detective Goodman? What's the pause button? This one? Yeah. Oh, it didn't pause in time. Okay, hold on. Rewind. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates that the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I almost walked straight into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats! I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do? Oh, it's time to play the video again, Your Honor. The One Piece! The One Piece is real! Alright, here we go. Okay, so if it's not the glove that tells us that it's not Goodman, then it's gotta be something else. Alright, so Goodman walks in. Goodman opens the locker, the glove falls out. Meekins wanders in. They get in a fight. Meekins dies. Oh, okay. This is new. Right? Yeah. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this.
Wait, it's not? I'm too early? What am I missing? So I'm looking for a contradiction. I'm looking for a contradiction in him being Bruce Goodman. Hold on. Go back. Okay. Pause. The light is already on. So the door's already open. The thing that's strange has gotta be this. Officer Meekins. Sir? Do you mean me, sir? As you understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. Why do they have to play this song? When you grab a handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match... Ah, that's loud. The light turns on and the lock's released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Oh God, it's the Badger! Have I ever told you what the definition of insanity is? You will listen to this song for another 50 cycles! With endless options for renewal! When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Please, play the video again, Your Honor! It has to be the Badger! Take him away, boys! Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit! It's lit, boys! I don't have a good graphic for that. I was gonna play a graphic, but oh well. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert on this. That is not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yeah, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Uh-huh? Oh, maybe something jammed the sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Say! There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Play the video again, Your Honor! Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well.
Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause. Whee! Whee! Oh! Oh, I dropped my glove. I better put it back in. Oh, man, it keeps slipping out. Oh, get back in there. Get in there. Oh yeah, I could just make the badger stare at you. Was this the inspiration Scott Cawthon had when he invented Five Nights at Freddy's? Was that good enough? That's probably good enough. Was this cased in the anime? I don't think it's in the anime. I don't know, because I haven't seen the anime, but I don't think it's in it. The anime skipped this? Okay. I think for now the plan is we'll watch the anime once we finish the trilogy. In the Discord. We're not gonna stream it to YouTube. We would get, like, copy-stricken to hell. Please watch closely. This is part of a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Why is there no sound? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things will fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I... We can't be sure that item was completely in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers when the lock is shut. What if something was inserted, say...
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come. I think this might be the best graphic I've ever made. Between the sensor and the door? Inserted? I won't play it again, but this would have been the good spot to play it. Alright, now I'm missing the Blue Badger music. Where's the music? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. What object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door? Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits that description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Would the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator? Alright, well obviously it's the rubber glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be for sure that it was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seemed to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. This lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order! 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 So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated the possibility, and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify.
Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony.
Mystery Man 2?
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir.
To enter the evidence room,
one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective has used his card. An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, sir. The ID card used at 5:14. That was the victim.
Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too. Although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There were only a few cases lined up for transferal there. Most of them were cleaned up by noon.
Right. I see. Now, let us move to the cross-examination.
So can we just present his ID card? Let me save. Oh, I did not mean to present the badge. Oops.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Good thing I saved. Hey, there we go. What a good deduction done by me. Definitely, that was a misinput. Unironically, that was. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
Oh, I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
A lost item report? It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something has to be his ID card, correct? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require even much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! Order! Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. Man, it's been a while since I've been able to play this graphic. Let me get it queued up. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room that Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. Two? First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at one single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instance of the murder. He cooked us, boys. I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content by pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Gah! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in which the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get out of this mess? Objection? One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to something you just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Okay. Phoenix, you want to talk? Phoenix? Phoenix? Anyone? However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses would be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? And whom do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then. Mr. Wright, the person by whom you would like to have testified, what is his or her name? Angel Star! I'd like to talk to the cough-up queen! Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. Let's talk to the victim. Let's bust in Maya so she can summon his spirit real quick for us. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Something to say, Lana? There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall? It seemed you figured everything out. I haven't figured out anything. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How could you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? There's a graphic for this. 1 second. Sad. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pal. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run around Making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there! Chief Detective Sky! How you doing, pal? That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh! Oh! Ho, 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 ho. Oh! You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it would be you who'd ask me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you'd do well to read them. I can't believe you, Chief Prosecutor, were the witness on that case. Miss Sky was a witness? The files for the Joe Dark killings, solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought you the stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Come on, pal! Emma! But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in... Unless... No, it couldn't be. Well, Lana, the SL9 incident is that... Something to say, Lana? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No. Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away? You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewheres. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma Sky? Everyone is here! It's like a regular Smash Ultimate roster. This case can't just be a coincidence. Knowing you might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Data saved. Joker? Joker? I hardly know her. Persona 5 eventually. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Ugh. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a wandering man. Same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, If y'all listen hard enough, y'all can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described like that before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get along with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In plain old English. My job was keeping a wary eye on that bone orchard. They say I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyways. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it all went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so you're out of ammunition. It's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I particularly care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. This guy, hold on. We do have a graphic for this. That Jake Marshall based? Wait a minute. What did you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you's heard about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks by the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or following orders. Everyone's got their weakness now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Alright. What seems suspicious? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. I hope she made lots of spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's Von Gold sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to go eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Alright, well that wasn't very helpful. Alright, we probably want to know more about the security. You used to be a detective, so you're used to the evidence room, correct? Of course. Back in my day, the locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't that good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I'm remembering right, I was at the Street Side Saloon. Okay, well, Alright, what evidence do we have? So we can't really pin him to anything yet. Oh, Neil Marshall! I wonder who Neil Marshall is. Alright, well there's not anything helpful in there. You can just watch the whole tape whenever you want. No, we're not doing that. I guess we'll just keep pressing? I'm not really sure. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, the tapes are erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a little part of my life, partner. You know, it almost feels like a little bit of this church is dying alongside me. Well, you're right about one thing. Bang! Die Hard 2 watch party eventually. This guy has the flair for the dramatic, but it isn't gonna do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. Next Christmas? It might end up being next Christmas, yeah. Yeah, Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie. So Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 2 are Christmas movies. Die Hard 3 is just a movie. Die Hard 4 is a 4th of July movie. Die Hard 5 sucks. We don't talk about Die Hard 5. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't y'all heard a word I said, partner? I told y'all that it ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't step foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck to the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. I can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt for weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If y'all are planning to pin me on this crime, y'all better draw. Otherwise, y'all just be wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everybody knows that. Alright, there we go. Adding it to the Texans rule set. Apparently your superiors don't. Alright, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I better keep my cool. Before I use it though, I'd better up the ante. So I guess I'm supposed to present something. So his job was to keep an eye on the bone orchard. I was supposed to make the rounds 3 times a day. The room's protected by 2 security systems. I was at the saloon. Okay, that doesn't help. Huh. Anyone have ideas? The room's protected by 2... Oh, I didn't mean to press. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like it's the handprint. So I guess the handprint on his alibi? Alright, there we go. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the crime scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Huh. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that there crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me that there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall.
About the blood-stained fingerprints.
Very well, you may begin your testimony. About the fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Like I said, it was only natural for my fingerprints to be in that there evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as that blood-stained handprint. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was just by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it there, partner.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Alright, so this is like... Maybe we should press this? Because I feel like this is pretty damning evidence right here. Like, how would he know? Alright, before we get too much deeper into this, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
You ever see the sign on the highway saying, "I'd walk a mile for a camel"? Well, let me tell you, the big man would walk a mile for a Quaalude.
Oh yeah, I need to unmute the desktop. Okay, there we go.
How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. I can't let him squirm out of this one. I've got to find something decisive to tie Officer Marshall to this crime. You didn't notice the deleting my gotchas point before? That's funny. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while one's another type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker's covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Never tell me the odds. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Let's get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Okay, so we pressed everything, right? I don't think we pressed the first statement. That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even knowing it. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood in the desert? It's just food for the buzzards. There's only reality and this. Oh, and that's this. Your Honor, it's time to play the tape again. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please, consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue with your testimony, Officer Marshall. Oh, so now we present the video. I didn't do anything. I don't remember what I pressed on this now. Was that it? Yeah, okay. Man, this Ace Attorney speedrun's going really well. Alright guys, we're about to hit another split. Alright, we gotta make sure not to skip this. There we go, yeah, locker. There we go, we got updated evidence. Wait, what? Do I need to... Yeah, don't forget the no clip. Oh, I guess I have to press everything. Okay. Alright, we've read all of this dialogue already, so... Alright, there was a blood stain. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save here. Then what evidence do we have? Maybe we have to press it further? What do you mean by that? You want me to tie this into the crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's positions, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us what evidence in the video indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Your Honor, play the video again! Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might end up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Hi, Badger. How are you today? Are you having a good day, buddy? Oh, I love you, Mr. Badger. Hey, but Mr. Badger, where? Oh, there. Hey, there you are. But let me give you a head pat. Head pat. Yeah, head pat to Badger. Who's Uncle Badger? Who's Uncle Badger? What happened to your ear? What happened to his ear? You got a little bandage going. You okay? Oh, poor Badger. Oh my gosh, are you okay? We gotta get the Badger some help. Somebody broke his little spike off. Oh, Uncle Badger. Oh, Uncle Badger. I love you, Badger. I love you, Badger. Okay, there we go. Bringing our attention back to the security camera. Is it a mistake, I'm afraid? Is the mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. It's important that we get the Texas lore. Could y'all sum up what y'all have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way to go, Phoenix! Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in this video. Are days actually shorter? What do you think? That locker with the white cloth sticking out of it. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. The days are actually shorter in Alaska, by the way. Interesting little fact. Oh yeah, it's literally rewind time, huh?
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Good call, I almost didn't catch that. Oh, the white claw! It's gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! Ah, hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you've got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? It's really bad in Greenland? Oh yeah, the 52nd state? I should go there sometime. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I'm calling your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. It would be the handprint, right? You can talk the talk, alright, but you've got a long ways to go before you can walk the walk. Mr. Wright, I think even I could prove this one. Sorry, Your Honor. If that's Officer Marshall's locker, then only he can open it. I should know this. Come on, partner. A revolver only holds 5 bullets. The question is, how many do you have left? You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Is it literally just the locker? Fingerprint sensor? When they go into the room, they go into a record? Interesting. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order! Order! Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, then it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at this time of the crime? Olay? Olay? Olay! Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? Thank you, I was wondering. It's just like we're in Paldea! That's right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He'd be the victim, right? Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed a detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yeah, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I see. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have to realize the man wasn't Detective Goodman. You have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? Y'all have got quite an imagination there, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it? You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you've got hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Objection!
I can't believe he went for the beard roast twice. What a legend. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can sense the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Huh. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. Shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? there's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact is that a white cloth is sticking out from the locker. That seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video's my only shot. Oh! Someone finally said it in chat. Play the video again? I've got you. There you go, we're playing the video again. Play the video again, Your Honor. Wait, you sent it earlier? Oh, man. I should have played this. Oh, well. Alright, anyways. Let's have another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker and put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Badger, you're back! Oh, how's my little badgy boy? Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy? Oh, hey, go back. Oh, right, Badger! Hey, Badger! Who's the good Badger? Who's the good Badger? Who's the good boy? Who's the good boy? Oh, I love you, Hey! Go back over there. Come on. There we Yeah, who's the good Badger? Who's the good Badger? It's a shame this doesn't move faster. I'd give him some better head pats. I like click in. Oh no, it doesn't move with the mouse. You just like click spots. Huh. The blue badge is an accomplice? My little badgy poo would never do that. How dare you accuse Blue Badger? Your little badger would never do that. How dare you? My little badgy poo? Okay. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and that white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only as persistent then as you were today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
Alright, it seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed as him. I planned on taking the evidence. I wasn't expecting that there Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. And I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in that evidence room at 5:15.
So the supposed victim really was you.
But there's one thing I don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence floor. If none of them were murdered, how could that be? The southern accent sounds lovely. Maybe it's because I'm southern. Maybe it's because I'm southern. I can just slip into it like it's a glove, I swear. Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed as him. I wasn't expecting Meekins. I had to kill him. I had to do the world a favor and rid it of that horrible Meekins. I managed to escape. I knew which wild areas weren't in the DLC. What am I supposed to be proving here? I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Do I press or should I present the SL9? We'll press. When you say it, do you mean... Do you ever have to... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking in? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it for myself one more time, no matter the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance, and that's why. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed as him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd been arrested for stealing the evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So, you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. You absolute buffoon. Don't you know that foresight is a fantastic move? It allows you to never miss your moves. Don't you want to use sheer cold? What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint. Activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your own fingerprints. That is, unless you're Yanni Yogi, of course. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open the locker yourself. But he could have because a rubber glove just so happened to be stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I killed him. I did the world a service. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little bit surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during such a short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder, demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think this over a little more. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. He said it. He said the line. Where's the graphic? I know it's not Gumshoe, but... I don't even get paid enough for peanut butter, pal! When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, whatever happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked out Officer Meekins, and I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think I would make much of a difference, though. The security tape is erased in every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened up my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So, what you're saying is, on that day... That's still assault and threatening someone with a deadly weapon? But Chrome, he said he was sorry. You know, if you say you're sorry, you get off the hook, right? There wasn't any murder in that evidence room at 5:15. Rest in peace, Meekins. Oh, he'll be back. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown in that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened that there locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. He'll be back. I always come back, man. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. We sure do live in these here United States of America. Land of the free. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Well, why do you choose this? Time to put up lost posters for the evidence? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get the answer I'm satisfied with. The witness had an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why? I think I do know why. But the case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved this sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. I remember it like it was yesterday. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that there trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved in here is in some way related to that case. I'd better take another look at all the files. Okay, so yeah, we're supposed to present the SL9 files. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. Oh! He received the same lousy prosecutor award you've got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Sad. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the deputy chief of police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under him. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. It was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. He's got too much of that Texas spirit in him, partner. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time, the murder at the prosecutor's office. This fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me that boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the police department. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. Have we really figured out every single mystery yet? Have we really? I don't think we have. I guess we'll find out. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely intestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Ah!
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come. I think that was a better sound than what I could make today, so I rest my case. Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste a single second of my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for a verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Hold it! Your Honor, wait!
Emma,
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
what do you mean, right? Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, Well, in a sense. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out about the SL9 incident, and that it referred to the Joe Dart killings?
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters are in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something? Also, how did you get in there? I have Bruce Goodman's ID card.
Well, no.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad at me. I'm only a high school student.
I'm just an attorney. An ace attorney! Thanks for watching! Roll credits. Alright, we're back. With, please.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood we found are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you!
Me? Oh boy! Time's up! Now then, Mr. Wright. And I'm just a small artist, and I'm just a small indie creator. With regards to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by other blood marks. Looking at the floor plans, the fingerprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Alright, just out of morbid curiosity. I've got to be honest, I don't see anything wrong. Still, if I give up now, Lana's gonna be convicted. Oh, it just forces you to object, okay. The handprint at this crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The illusion of choice. The only thing that seems clear is what you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something's missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something's missing from the floor plan? It's my little Badgy Poo! Oh, yes it is, you don't go Badger! You don't go Badger! Who don't go Badger? Who don't go Badger? Who don't go Badger? We love the Badger! We love the Badger! Yes we do! Yes we do! We love the Badger! We love the Badger! Right, guys? Right? Right? He doesn't even have a badge? Well, a badger is a type of animal, Ash. He doesn't have to literally have a badge. Badger? I hardly know her. Alright, anyways, take that. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Dude, he makes it sound pretty cool. He doesn't look like a badger either? How dare you insult my beloved Badgy Poo? You monster! Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans. The Blue Badger is not here. So? Now watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the scene of the crime. Blue Badger TV show win? One day. I'll believe. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger's dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint on this spot at the locker. What? So that means, what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces are undeniably found on the locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room. After he put it down, it would have been impossible to leave a handprint on the locker. So that must mean the blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. But I totally ate breakfast this morning. How could I imagine if I didn't? Just one moment. I will not allow such a far-fetched boulder dash in my courtroom. Far-fetched? Ah, allow me to present a leak with my duck, Your Honor. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time he was captured on the tape taken by the security cam. Officer Meekins cut his hand, which was for a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape, and it must have been... It had to have been Detective Goodman, where he was really murdered. That's ridiculous! I refuse to accept your absurd claim! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that did not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really did happen, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that Prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, another incident took place in the evidence room. That's right. The blood mark in the locker room proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As far as Edgeworth claims, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. It's real! The One Piece! Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows the first crime? It's gotta be the ID card. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have to enter. In order to do so, an ID card would be required. An ID card? Oh! The ID card record! Can we get much higher? Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel in the evidence room at... Let's see here. About 450? If the crime took place before that time, then it would mean 440. Oh! Oh! But Mr. Edgeworth! Just what have you done? I never would have figured you'd have the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Huh. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away. By the real murderer? It would have been just 10 minutes to the murder. It would have taken just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime would have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's take a look at that chart again. There's only one other card remaining. Number 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait! That doesn't make sense! How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along the real murder. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number 7777777 is. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, boy. The ID card 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous! Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charged with if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Alright. Let me ask y'all a question. Yes. No, not to you. To the little bambina sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's being charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about the incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant! Just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator on that crime, deep in the eyes and say you did it? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't! I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Ugh. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes call for drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order to get him the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. See? That's what I'm talking about. No! No! Order! 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 Lana's remark caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Well, boys and girls, I think this is about as good a spot as any to call it for today. We will, actually, I have a little proposition for you all. So, if you haven't yet joined the official Discord of the Sakura Wiz channel, aka Wizcord, please do so. In about maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes, sometime very soon, I'm going to be posting a poll. And as a viewer of the channel, I'd really like your input on this poll, because I kind of have a thought about how I want to shake up the content a little. I'm really enjoying playing Ace Attorney. I'm not gonna stop playing Ace Attorney, but people seem to really enjoy the Mega Man stream, and I'm wondering if people would prefer a little more variety. So, here's the offer that I'm gonna put on the table. The offer is going to be, we only play Ace Attorney, we play Ace Attorney, and we bring back Persona 3 Reload starting next week. Option 3 is we continue Ace Attorney, and I do my best to rotate in and out different games. So we would continue Reload,
We would maybe play some other games I've been wanting to get to, like Bug Fables, Spyro, maybe some more FNAF. What are some other things I have on the list? Some more Mega Man, maybe Metaphor? I didn't finish Metaphor. And then maybe some, like, I don't know, there's a bunch of games that I could potentially play, but... so I will leave it up to the vote, but if you haven't joined Wizcord, there's a link in the channel bio, I'm pretty sure. You should be able to find it there. I don't have the ability to post links in the description of my videos at the moment, because apparently my community isn't positive enough. I think you guys are pretty positive, but I guess I'm in the wrong? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, that poll will be going up pretty soon. Besides that, I don't think I have any other updates for you as of now. Likely next Tuesday, depending on the results of the poll, we will either play Persona 3 or we'll continue the case from here. And then I'll kind of see what Thursday looks like. I'm not really sure how much content I'm gonna have as far as, like, from school, because I'll have to look. If there's not a lot of work I have to do next week for school, then I'll probably do 2 streams. But anyways, I think that's gonna do it for today. Thank you all for coming. I'm gonna swap it over to the waiting screen now. Hopefully you all had fun. Make sure to join Wizcord and vote in the poll if you haven't already. Like, unironically, it's imperative that you do so if you want to affect the future of the stream. Alright, I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. Thank you all for coming. Another really fun stream. I will catch y'all next week.